Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, everyone. It is so good to have you with me again tonight. Hi, Bimi. So my guest is on already. Hello, Faye. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Good to have you all on. It's Saturday night. I can't believe it's actually end of January. Can you imagine that? It is end of January. Good evening, everyone. So good to have you. My guest is on already. I'm just going to wait for a few seconds for more people to join in and I'll bring her on. How are we doing today? So let me know how you're doing while I put in the topic of our conversation tonight on the screen and pin it there. So when people join later, they can see what we're discussing. How are we doing? How is everyone doing today? It's been very wet here where I am. So I don't know if it's been wet where you are as well, or it's been sunny and all of that. How is it going with you? Just trying to put in our conversation here, the topic of our conversation here, on here. So good to have you. Good evening. Good evening. I am just about done. Just about to be done. Just about to be done. Almost there. I'm really being careful with this. Being very careful. Just been making sure that I'm not just typing in what I shouldn't be typing in here. I think I have got it. I've got it. So Bemi, welcome. Please send in a request. It'd be good to have you on now. Because I know we are pressed for time tonight and there's just a lot to go over. So please send in your request and I'll bring you on stage with me as well. It has been a very, 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 very busy week. So tired, but we're grateful to God. We are here, bringing you on now so that I can have you with me. Hey, Demi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank
Very
you.
well, fantastic. Good to have
How are
you.
you?
I'm good. I have to say I am tired. I am tired, but
Yeah.
I just had to turn up. I had to show up, but I'm good. I've had a very busy week. It's been a very, very busy week, and I'm sure you've had same busy week as well. Hey, Nurse Abby. Hey, Biodu. Biodu? I don't know what it is with this your Abby Sumptuous name. Like every time I want to call you, I'm like, "Okay, I know a name. I know you. Biodu is your name, please." But yeah, how are you, darling? How are you doing? So that's one of my very favorite friends in the world. So thank you for joining, ladies. Good evening again. Bemi, I know we're pressed for time tonight. And so usually on Conversations with BibbyJ, we have this
Yeah.
conversation at 7:30 on the days that we come live. So as we're having this at 7, this is because, so guys, thank you all so much for joining. For those who are just joining in, so Bemi has another event at 9 o'clock. Well, 9 o'clock Nigerian time, which is 8 o'clock
Time.
our time. So I really want us to get this going very quickly, and also end probably before 5 minutes to 8, so she can get ready for our next event. So Bemi, thank you so much for coming. And before I let Bemi introduce herself, as you all know, I always say that I will let the guests introduce themselves, because who best can introduce you if not you? Who can talk about what you do, the way you do it, and the way you talk about it? But before I say that, I'm sure people will be wondering when you saw the flyer. Okay, so this says, "Oh, keeping it together in a crazy world and in a crazy and uncertain world." What does that really mean? Why? Oh, Bibi. So you might ask me. So Bibi, why did you think, oh, this is something that we would like to discuss, or or it's something that we'll be interested in. And the reason why, I'll tell you. So I was thinking about the new year. Hey Busala, how are you? Thanks for joining, sis. So I was thinking, oh, it's the new year. It's January. People are going to be writing goals for the new year, and people are going to be at different places. A lot of people had so many different things happen to them last year, 2020. It was very difficult for many people, but now it's 2021, and so many people might be in that place where they feel like, oh gosh, please, with all that happened in 2020, what's the point of me trying to even plan anything for 2021, or having any sort of hope, or yes, any sort of hope for 2021. But I know that people will say, oh, let's write our goals and let's write our what the plan for the year is. I mean, I've never been one to write goals, to be honest. I've never been one. I always just know what I want to do and I just get on with it, right? But I thought it is actually very important for us now than ever before to be a bit more aware about our mental health, our well-being. We have been at home. I was saying to a friend earlier today that actually, do you know what, by next month it will be a whole year that we've been on lockdown. Like, I haven't been, the last time I was in the office was like 16th of March last year. So this is end of January. By next month, it's how many months already? So how are we feeling from within? So I thought that this is something that would be good for us to discuss, and also for our guests tonight to just give us some tips on how we can look after ourselves. There's just so much going on right now. We haven't, like, we've not overcome the whole of COVID issue and everything. People are still losing their lives daily, So we just want to discuss this, and let's see how Bemi can help us to discuss touch a few things on here. So this is the reason why this is the conversation we're having tonight, and I hope that you all will be blessed by it. There will be something useful that will come from our guest tonight. So Bemi, as we get started, can you please, so our ladies and gentlemen on the show tonight, I have Gbemi with us. So Gbemi is a lead therapist. So she's an expert in mental health. She has her own story. She's looked into this for a lot of years. And I mean, I've heard her say a few things on this mental health thing, as we call it. And for me, it's so refreshing to see someone like her talking about it. And I thought, okay, do you know what? It would be nice to have this person come join us on Conversations with BibbyJ and just give us some few tips, like on how do we look after ourselves in this time. So we've been trying to travel for the last maybe like 4 or 5 months now. And we've not been able to because the rules kept changing and everything. The hope that we had for February, that has now completely gone out of the window. And it's, before you know it, you start to feel the pressure. So, Gbemi, before, I don't want to go too fast, I don't want to go ahead of myself. So, Gbemi, please introduce yourself to our viewers tonight. Thank you again for joining us. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Bibi. Um, Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Gbemi Sola Ogunride, and I'm here in Lagos, Nigeria. Like she rightly said, I'm a therapist, a psychotherapist in Nigeria. I run a practice, a counseling and therapy practice called The Family Place, and I'm the lead therapist there. I basically work with families, adult individuals, children, couples on challenges in life. I'm just about helping people to overcome their challenges. I'm also big on relationships as well, because I, for one, believe that the family, being the most basic unit of society, it's its greatest agent of change. So I'm all about family development as well, and I believe that if a majority of the families we have in our communities will get it right,
Yeah,
society as a whole would be a great
yeah,
place, to
absolutely.
live in. So basically, I'm that person who just sits and listens, and have you dump all your worries on me,
That's good to
and
know.
then, right? So I'm that person that would tell you, you don't have to keep it all. Just come here. I'm here. Just come and dump it all on me and feel better. Go away. Come back again. Dump and go. So that's basically what I do. I sit and listen to your
Fantastic.
worries and your troubles. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, guys, we have got a therapist in the house with us tonight. So, she said that she's the person that she says to you, come and dump all your issues. Oh, well, not on me, on her, because she's a therapist. Okay. So, I'm not a therapist. So, come and dump all your issues, all your worries, everything on her. And yes, she will help us to navigate through all of this. So, one thing, thank you so much, Baby, for that, like, just brief introduction of yourself. Do you know we say things like mental health, and from where we are from, mental health is something that when you say that, oh, this person has mental health issue, there is already a stigma that is attached to that. So
Yeah.
people say, oh, someone says, oh, yeah, he's suffering from mental health, or he has mental health issue, and then they say, oh, is Yaba left that person goes through, or do you know? I mean, and I'm glad that you're in Nigeria because it's well, I mean, I'm here in the UK, and talking about mental health is not really an issue, it's not a problem as such. But where you are, where people are, okay, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to have to say anything about this, or where people are thinking, oh, you have something going on in your head, and you say that you're suffering from some mental health issues or whatnot, and people kind of just completely move away from you because they think that you're sick. So how do you think that is being seen in Nigeria, for instance? So because I want us to start off from Nigeria. I know that some of my followers are in Nigeria as well, and this is something that is very, very relevant anywhere in any part of the world. So we've come from a place where we're either too shy to talk about it, or we would never acknowledge that this is an issue. It is there, it is very present, and we need to deal with it. So in Nigeria, how has it been in terms of people coming out freely to talk about their mental health state?
Okay. I would say that because I did my first degree here in Nigeria, and then I went to the US for my master's degree. I came back 2015, and I would say that I had concerns. I wasn't sure if there was going to be an avenue for me to actually practice. Even though my first degree was in psychology, my second degree was in psychology as well. I knew what I wanted to do. So, but coming back, I was pretty shocked seeing that the level of acceptance for mental health issues was not what it was when I left.
Mm.
Topic of mental
Yeah.
health. So I've been back now. May will make it 6 years. It hasn't been easy because you still have people who still raise an eyebrow, when it comes to seeking help for mental health issues. But I'll tell you that we've actually made some
Yeah.
progress. We're not on the same level with you guys in the Western world, but Nigerians are actively seeking help for mental health issues now. And we have quite a number of organizations that are coming up. Even when I came back as well, I couldn't really find an organization to work with. And that was one of the
Wow.
things that actually pushed me into establishing my own practice.
Your
That
own
if
practice.
there is no platform, why don't I go ahead and create a
Great
platform
one.
myself? Yeah, so that's when I just took that bold step and went ahead to register the practice. And a lot of people were like, some people are of the opinion, why would I want to pay someone to go and talk about my issues? Shouldn't I just come and talk to you? And I tell people it's like a medical doctor. The
Yeah.
therapist, the psychologist is just a doctor of the mind. The same way
Mm.
you will pay millions for a
Mm.
physical health issue, it's the same way you should be willing to pay a therapist for your mental health issues. And helping
Wow.
to correct, the whole stigma, because once you hear the word mental around here, it's like that cray-cray kind of thing, like you rightly said. So
Yeah.
it's about education all the time, helping people understand that when you say
Yeah.
mental health, you're basically talking about the health status of your mind. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Hmm.
So
Do you know,
mental
I like,
doesn't mean crazy. Yeah, go on.
just to jump in right there, I like the way you put it in as, a psychologist is just a doctor of the mind. I mean, I'm hearing this for the first time here tonight,
Yeah.
right? So he's a doctor of the mind. So just the way you have a doctor for like every other thing in your body, you
Body,
have a
yeah.
dentist for your for everything. Do you know, it's just so if we see it that way going forward, like okay, this is how we see it. So this is just a doctor for my mind to make sure that
Yeah.
my mind is at the right state that it needs to be. And as we know, we always say this that most of the things that we do on the outside comes from within. So
Within, yeah.
I want you to tell us, just talk to us very briefly on what mental health is, you know,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Like I earlier said, it's basically the health status of your mind. So it is you taking care of your thoughts, because I always tell people that practically everything that we are starts and ends with the mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you think about, how you see yourself, how you see life. It eventually shapes, how you feel, and then how you choose to behave.
Mm,
So mental health basically is, they will say there's no health without mental health.
mm,
You have a
mm,
number of people who would go to a medical doctor. They're having, somatic symptoms, but they
mm.
can't find anything wrong with them
Wrong
physically.
with them.
And that's when they now said, okay, I think maybe you need to see a therapist. I think you need to see a counselor. And then you find out that by the time you start talking to this person, maybe this person is stressed. They've
Mm,
got a lot on their mind. They're worried, or
mm.
it's a thing of it's depression. And you find out that by the time you address that mental health issue, all those somatic symptoms disappear.
Just disappear.
Yeah, so
Wow.
mental health is just basically the health status of your mind and ensuring that you're constantly keeping your mind clear of negative thoughts.
Hmm.
So you're
Okay.
thinking positive.
Do you know,
Yes.
just right there before you touch on thoughts, because I really would like us to explore that a little bit further, because
Okay.
thoughts are very powerful. And I will talk about what I do with my own thoughts. And for like I said, oh yes, best explanation I've ever heard, and I think most skeptics will understand it from that angle. Honestly, it's true. Yeah, it's just saying the doctor for the mind. When you said that some people will go to the doctor, they would check them for everything, and they would say that, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, you're fine, everything seems to be fine. But they still say that maybe they're just tired, or they're having headaches, or they're having pains, right? And the next thing, as opposed to saying to them, oh, seek a mental health doctor, let's put it that way, to help with your state of mind, we would say things like, oh, the village people are after you. Because if they've tested you and they can't see anything wrong, and you're still
Yeah.
saying that you're sick, then it has to be a spiritual problem, right? Unfortunately, that's what many people, most people, even here in the Western world, you will hear people say things like, oh, they have followed
Yeah.
this person from home. So now you're talking about thoughts. So if we go back to thoughts, yes, Faith says in Nigeria, I know we can be quite spiritual. How do you balance the spiritual with medical prognosis? Do you know what? Yes, that is a very good question, Faith. I don't want us to miss this question, because we will start rolling up now, and I'll have to start looking for it. So, Baby, can you quickly speak to that before we go on to the thoughts aspect of our mental health? So she said that she knows in Nigeria, just what I was saying about spiritual. Someone says,
Yeah.
oh, they've tested you, there's nothing wrong with you, people are following you, go for deliverance, do all of those things. So she said that we know that yes, it can be quite, like, everyone, we know it can be quite spiritual, but how do you balance spiritual with medical prognosis? So this, for me, I think if I understood this question very very correctly, it would be that there is that place of spiritual issue, right? And then there is the medical issue. So how do we balance that, please?
Okay. For me personally, being a therapist, I'm one who is not so fond of diagnosing. And I say this loosely because sometimes giving a diagnosis is like a label.
Hmm.
And once you've labeled that person, some people take it as a crutch not to want to get better.
Mm,
So they just tell
mm,
you, I have this, I've been diagnosed with this, that's why I'm this
it's
way.
the way.
Yeah. So what I
Mm,
personally, what I do is, yeah, engaging you in questions, probably running some, tests, assessment
mm,
test tools and all of that on you.
yeah.
On my end, I know what the issue is.
Mm,
You understand? But I'd bring it to you in such a way that I'm not going to give it a label.
mm,
So these are the challenges that we're having. And now we have to set goals to
Yep.
ensure that we achieve the change that we want to see at the
I
end of
want
the
to
day.
see. Hmm.
And then talking about balancing, the whole medical aspect with spirituality. I'm a believer as
Hmm.
well, and I believe that it's the same God who's giving doctors the wisdom to help people, the same one who's also working with therapists and counselors as well to work with people. So there's one
Hmm.
thing that I have in my intake forms. There's a
Hmm.
question there that asks you whether or not you want to integrate faith with your therapy.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Hmm.
So if you
I like
indicate
that.
that you want to, then together we can work using faith and
Hmm.
psychological tools as well. But if
Yeah.
you outrightly indicate no, and then so we'll just take it right from the psychological angle. So you won't walk into my office and then I start
Hmm.
telling you, even if I don't, what you're telling me doesn't necessarily agree with my beliefs,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
have to take off the beliefs and just drop them at the
And drop
entrance
the
and
yes.
walk with
Yes.
you,
Hmm.
basically with what you're presenting me with. So I
Hmm.
wouldn't throw my beliefs or religion, whatever, in your face. I work with each client based on what they present with me and what they're
Hmm.
comfortable with.
Hmm. Oh,
So that's
wow.
basically how I try to manage the whole thing. So, and I tell people who are spiritual and feel funny about seeking counseling and mental help, and I
Hmm.
always tell them that even talk about Christians. I was talk more about that because that's the faith that I belong to. You talk about the
Yeah.
Holy Spirit being the counselor, being so.
Mm-hmm.
Even God believes in counsel.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
True.
that's why he has
True.
put human beings
Yeah.
here. Sometimes you
That's
feel like
true.
you're not hearing anything from him. So it's okay to
Yeah.
speak with a fellow human being that you
Yeah.
can get that physical connection and still feel better at the
Hmm.
end of the day.
Oh, wow. Do you
So,
know, I really like that. And Faith, I hope that answers your question. Do you know, it is very, very important because, especially for people who are believers, like you're a believer, I'm a believer, and I'm sure some of the people on this call too are believers, right? And a lot of times, even when you have things staring you in the face, but because of your belief, because of your faith, you're like automatically not recognizing it. You're saying, oh no, I'm not giving mind to this. I'm just going to keep going. The Holy Spirit will
yeah,
heal me. The Holy Spirit God will heal me and all of that. But you've said it that even God encourages counsel. Even, I mean, the Bible says that come, let us reason together. That's because He knows that we should come and discuss this thing, right? So thank you so much. Yes. So, yes. So Faith says that really answered that question. So thank you very much for that. So going back on thoughts now. So because
okay,
as I said earlier, everything that we do on the outside comes from the within. And you said it as well. You alluded to it earlier that what is within you kind of determines what you do on the outside. So
yeah,
so let's start off from negative thoughts. What are the types of negative thoughts that you've come across in this your field that,
yeah.
so let's say, I mean, you're not going to be mentioning your clients' names or anything, but where you've had to meet with a client and you found out that, oh, this is what they're dealing with. What are the thoughts? Because well, if someone thinks of negative thoughts, people might say that, yes, but negative thoughts is negative thoughts, whatever it is. But I believe that there are some that if you really feed on them for so long over a period of time, you'll
Yeah.
probably end up where you don't want to be. But there are others that you can just cross your mind like if for a split seconds and you just brush it off,
And
right?
just,
So
yeah.
what are those negative thoughts? Like, can you just give us just a few that we can look into?
Okay, so you have some people who maybe growing up, they always never did anything right as far as their parents or guardians were concerned.
Mm,
And because they kept hearing those things over and over again, as children, they just internalized those negative words and then grew up
mm,
to believe, I can never do anything right. So, with that kind of negative thought, even if an idea comes to your mind or you want to try to do something, you are reminded, you can never do anything right. Why do you want to
mm,
try? And that person just decides that, okay, there's no point. I can't get things right. And then you
mm.
have some who feel like they are not worthy of being loved.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And a lot of these thoughts always stem from experiences that we have in childhood. Nobody just randomly sits down and cooks up negative thoughts in their mind.
Mm.
There are things that came about as a result of constant exposure to negative experiences. So these negative experiences help to now shape the thoughts. We call it the cognitive schema. So it's a group of thoughts that you have. Anyone who is constantly exposed to negativity, the cognitive schema will be made up of negative thoughts, like the one I talked
Oh,
about.
wow.
I can't do anything right. I'm not lovable. Or is it someone that's
Yeah.
always see you ugly, see your black face, you are so very ugly, that kind of a thing, and that person begins to think that he or she is not beautiful or is not,
Enough. Yeah.
is not good looking, and they feel bad about themselves. So a lot of these things, these are the major reoccurring ones. Or for somebody who each time they try to do something, they fail at it, and then they get to a point where, like, I can just never be successful.
Oh, wow.
The last
Wow.
3 business ideas I had, yeah, I gave it my all. I was motivated, I was passionate about it, and it
Yeah.
all fell, I fell flat down on my face. So why do I try? I can never be successful. So, and the thing about thoughts is that there's a saying, and I heard this during my master's program, and I've always held on to it, and I tell clients a lot as well, that you can't stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can stop it from building a nest.
True.
I mean, you won't sit down there and the
And
bird
let it,
comes with
yeah.
one straw, drops it, it goes, and you're like,
And then
okay,
comes back
I'm just
again.
watching to see what he wants to do. Comes back
Yeah.
with the second one, and you're still watching. You won't
Absolutely.
do that.
Yeah.
Immediately he tries to drop the first one, you're going to shoo the bird away.
That's
And that's
right.
the same thing with negative thoughts. So the thought comes,
Wow.
it comes into your mind, which we all experience these negative thoughts every now and then, because we've all faced challenges.
Yes. Yes.
I have those that I have struggled with for a while, but I had to intentionally get rid of them myself. So the negative thought comes in, and you have a choice to let it stay, and then you ruminate on it, and then before you know it, another negative one comes, and then they begin to
Comes
build
in.
until they build a skyscraper in your mind. And then your mind is filled with negativity at the end of the day. But if the moment that negative thought comes in, you immediately hold it, like, hold it there. You take hold of it and immediately combat it
Yes.
and replace it with something more positive. Say, for
Yeah.
instance, the person who feels like, I can never be successful. Yes, I tried 1, 2, 3 times. I didn't succeed, but I can try again. I will eventually succeed. So we have to keep on fighting negative thoughts with
So
positive ones. So a lot of people struggle
it's
with
more of a
thoughts.
battle. It's more of a battle
It's
of the
about like
mind.
battle of the mind, basically. That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So basically, you have this negative thoughts that comes in, and it's like I love that analogy that you gave, that you wouldn't let
Yeah.
a bird come and build a nest on your head. That is absolutely true. So in terms of like the thoughts, so you're talking about the negative thoughts now, and
Yeah.
to be honest, I feel like it's actually very easy to think negative thoughts than it is to think positive thoughts,
Positive,
especially when
yes.
everything that surrounds you doesn't look anything positive, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you find yourself in that kind of situation, so let's say for an example, someone finds themselves in a place where it all just looks like nothing is working here. It doesn't seem like I can get anything right here. How can they stay positive in that
Yeah.
environment? And what sort of battle will be going on in their mind, and how can they overcome that battle?
Yeah, I mean, it's different for people. That's the thing. It's different. The kind of battle that will be going on in their mind is different. You may have some who feel like doesn't look like, yeah, there's any hope. I might as well just fold my arms, sit down, and just let life happen to me. I mean, look at everything that's going on. I know that with COVID, people losing their jobs,
Yep.
people's salaries being slashed, and all of that. So a lot of people are, feeling down and feeling blue. So what I would just, want to encourage people in situations like that is adopting an attitude of gratitude is huge. We don't know how much gratitude helps
Yeah.
to improve the state of our minds. It is huge because thinking about the fact that even in spite of the way things are, Somebody might be sitting there listening to me and like, all hope is lost. I've lost my
Yeah.
job. The fact that you can still afford data to sit down and be a part of this conversation,
True.
that is huge.
True.
There's some other people that have it worse than you. No matter how bad your situation is, there's somebody else out there that has it worse. So look around you for the things that you can be grateful for. No matter how, if it's I have eyes I can see,
Yeah.
okay, you're there, you don't have a job, but you're not attached to a ventilator. You're not in an
Mm-hmm.
isolation center
Mm-hmm.
infected with the virus. So
Yeah.
these are things that we need to. So gratitude is huge. Always encourage gratitude a great deal. I've had times as well, even during the lockdown period earlier last year, where it wasn't as if it was a thing of feeling hopeless, but I just wasn't in the mood to do anything.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah, just because we're not going to work, so I was just home, even trying to put myself to put out. I'm like, yeah, the therapist here should be putting out encouraging words, but I'm like, I beg, even therapists say they need
They
therapy
need
sometimes,
therapy.
so that kind of a thing. So I just couldn't bring myself to do anything. I was just there. And sometimes you talk about when people get to that point where you're not just in the mood, you lose interest
Yeah.
in doing
Yeah.
stuff and things like that. Maybe depression and all that is beginning to set in.
Yeah.
So these are things so gratitude is huge. So when I look around and I'm thankful for family, thankful for where I have come, knowing that where I am today is definitely not where I used to be.
That used to
And just,
be.
yeah, reminding myself that things may not be well now, but I know that this is not the end. I know that things will get better. So I want to
Wow.
encourage myself and, say those things. And maybe sometimes if it's somebody who is struggling with achievements, you feel like you're stagnant, sometimes it's okay to go back to past achievements. It's not
That's
as if
right.
you're dwelling on these achievements, because sometimes I've heard it said that the greatest, it was Dr. Samadeyemi who said it, that the greatest enemy of progress is success. And that makes a lot of sense. The fact that because you're successful, you feel like you have arrived, and then you're not moved to want to, reach greater heights, which is
That's
true.
right. Yes.
So
Yes.
in this regard, me asking you to go back to past achievements is not me trying to prevent you from progressing, but it's
Yeah.
just to give you a reminder that you have
A
it in
reminder.
you
Yeah.
to succeed. You have it in you to, achieve. Things may not be working right now the way you want them to, but you did it before and you can do it again. So
Yes.
when you remind yourself of those past achievements, it puts you in a positive state. And then you're motivated to want to get up again, apply yourself, and keep moving until you finally
I
get
keep
to
moving.
where it is that you're
Wow,
going to.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you know, I absolutely love that. I love it so much because, as you rightly said, we've been on lockdown. People have lost their jobs. I mean, I heard a message yesterday from a friend who works in a company, is an HR consultant. And she said they had a meeting and they were going to let some people go from work. And it was
Yeah.
really bothering her. Like, she was thinking, I can't believe I am actually going to be telling people, well, sorry, you no longer have a job, even in this climate. And it's true, like all these things happen. But what you said that really got to me, and I'm grateful that you mentioned that it's on looking at past successes that you've had.
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing wrong in that. Sometimes when you want to do something, and you feel like, so for instance, I'll use something as basic as working out. So yes, I work out now, by the way. Yes, guys, you know that I do now, so I can talk about it. Anyway, yes, I'm just
Yeah.
rubbing it in your faces. Pardon me for that. So yeah, so for me it's like, oh, I've decided I'll be working out on a daily basis, for 5 days a week. And in a particular day, when I wake up and I feel like, gosh, I'm just so tired, I don't want to do anything today, I just remind myself of yesterday when I did it and how good I felt. Just doing that alone sometimes gets me to do it that very day.
Yeah.
And that is why it is important, like you said, to look back at past successes as well. It doesn't mean that you're going to live in there, because right now it's like the whole world is in that place where anything and everything can happen. Someone said to
Yeah.
me that, oh, I'm a go-getter. I go out and do things and all of that. But with everything that happened to her last year, she just doesn't feel like doing anything this year. Like she just feels like, what's the point? You do all of this and tomorrow morning you're no longer here or something bad
Yeah.
happens. And I know that this is where most people are, you know, even when we've been trying to, by the grace of God, trying to stay sane and just keep
Yeah.
going. It's more of, yes, you try so many things, but still, you're still finding yourself in that place of hopelessness, you know. You touched on us thinking of, I mean, positive thoughts. So in terms of going forward, so now,
Yeah.
because we've looked at the thoughts, because now we know that all of these things is about our thoughts, you know, just make sure you have the right thoughts going on and everything. I know you wrote a book. So guys, I didn't say this earlier. So Bemi is an author of a book that is called Keeping It Together in a Crazy and Uncertain World. Guess what? I ordered this book on Amazon, and for the first time, they messed up big time. It didn't come to me before tonight. It really pains me. And you know, she has it for adults, and then she has children's one as well. That
Yeah.
really, really is inspiring. It is so absolutely fantastic. So, can you quickly tell us about especially for the children as well, because you know, like
Okay.
what is in that book for them? Because unfortunately, I didn't get to see it. I'm sure it will be delivered like maybe on Monday now or so when we've had this conversation. But that's fine anyway. Can you tell us what is
Yeah.
in that book? So the book is the title of this conversation, Keeping It Together in a Crazy and Uncertain World. Since she has a copy there, unfortunately I'm not in Nigeria. I'll just say yes. Can I just take that one off the screen? So yeah. Yes. So
Yeah.
what's in this book, and how can people use the book?
Okay. So I'll start off with this one. This is called, like she said, Keeping It Together in a Crazy and Uncertain World, a 31-day journey to building resilience. Funny
Mm,
enough, I wrote this book 2017,
wow.
and that was the period where, suicide issues were rampant here in Nigeria. And I thought to myself that I know I may not have the opportunity to meet every person out there one on one. So,
Mm,
what can I do to at least reach as many as possible? And that's
mm,
when the idea of this book came to mind. I never really thought that I was going to be an author or whatever it is. So, what I
wow.
tried to do was, so basically, it says a 31-day journey. So, it has like 31 different strategies that we can employ to help
Mm,
to maintain positive mental health. So it has there are 31 chapters. So for each
oh
chapter,
wow.
there's a new strategy that you can learn. And I wrote it in such a way, like a devotional type thing. So it's
Mm,
like it's a daily journey. So it's not something that you feel like it's so much to take on at once. So you
yeah.
have, let's see. So say for instance, this is day one,
Yeah.
and you see that's gratitude. That's like always like my number one. So
Mm,
there's that. You have a picture that tries to depict whatever it is the chapter
mm,
is talking about. So there's a short, also I try to keep it as concise as possible so that
as
it doesn't take
possible,
so
yeah.
much of your time. Yes. So you read through the benefits of
Mm,
that particular strategy for that day. And at the end of it, you have a to-do list. There's something at the end. So you have an opportunity to
oh,
practice what you
what
have
you
read
have
about that
read.
day. Yes, and
Fantastic.
after practicing, you get to journal your experience.
Mm,
So
oh
it's
wow.
like it's a hands-on resource. So every
Mm,
chapter is like that. You have the next one that talks about positive energy. You have positive affirmation. So there's
mm,
exercising, there's journaling, there's music. There's a chapter that talks about quit worrying. So there are over about 30 things here that you can do to ensure that your mental health is in place. And the
mm.
idea of having so many is that not everything would resonate with everyone,
With
but you will
everyone, yeah.
find one, two, three, four strategies that work for you, and you just want to stick to those
With the
strategies,
wow.
basically.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Do
at
you
the
know, I
end, if after, yeah, go on.
I'm so upset that I didn't get this book
That you
before
didn't get
tonight.
your
Honestly,
copy.
because
I
right
know.
now I am actually really now looking forward to receiving it, because this is more like something you can just have by your desk in the morning, and as you're going through your day. Because I know, right? I mean, we're not going anywhere. So for me personally, I'm home. I'm sitting on my desk every hour, just there. It's like it's something I can just have beside me, and as I go through my day, just pick it
Yeah.
up every now and then and go through, see whatever it is I need to read. I love that you said you covered over 30 different strategies. And
Yeah.
also, you are mindful that not everything will resonate with everyone. So
Yeah.
even if one doesn't resonate with you, two will resonate with you. I mean, I'm part of the coaching community where the first thing we always say is to share what we're grateful for. So you mentioned about gratitude. So we always
Yeah.
say, what are you grateful for? To be honest, I never thought that I had a problem or an issue saying what I am grateful for. Like I just feel like, oh, there's just a lot to be grateful for. But when you actually say to me, all right, so tell us, what are you grateful for? Like apart from just saying I'm
I'm
grateful
very
for
grateful
life,
for
and it
life.
sounds like a cliche because we say
Cliche.
that a lot. Yes, of course, we're grateful for life. But actually, it is something really important. It's because you have in your mind that, oh, when I go to bed tonight, I'll wake up
I'll
tomorrow
wake up
morning.
tomorrow.
What
Yeah.
if you don't wake up? Like you don't even have control over that. So when I say I'm grateful for life, I'm still on that journey, by the way, because I still feel like I'm just saying something that is a cliche and doesn't really hold that much weight.
Much. Yeah.
So gratitude is very key, and it's just thinking. It makes you think about things in your life, things that you probably don't even think as important like that. I say that you said it earlier. You said the fact that you even have data. So, I mean, in the Western world, we are so spoiled with, I mean, 24 hours access to the
Limited.
internet
Yeah.
and all. So it's not really a big deal to us. So why would you think of thanking God for having internet? I mean, this is something that you should have, but that's because of where we are, right? But there are
Yeah.
other things, like you said, just having your eyes that you can see. In fact, just having a sane mind. So the other day I registered with the NHS. So the NHS in the UK had like
Yeah.
this volunteer program that they did in lockdown. So what that program is meant to do is for them to get volunteers to help, like people who are isolating, people who are elderly, that they're vulnerable, they're shielding and all of that. So I registered and I got through. And so I registered for just call and chat. As everyone knows, I like to talk. So that was the only thing. And then more so my job would not give me the time to actually like go out and meet people as such and all, but at least I could give them a call, sit on the phone with them for like 10 minutes and all. So this
Yeah.
lady, I called her last week. Yeah, it was last week. I called her. It was an elderly lady, and then we started talking. So I said, "Oh, my name is blah blah blah. I'm calling from blah blah blah. Is this person?" Did all the introduction, and then she said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, thank you for calling me." And she said, "So I said, so how are you doing? So what do you need help with?" She said, "You know what? I just need someone to talk to." So I was like, okay, all right. So I was talking to her. I was working, mind you. I was working. I was typing whatever it was I was typing. And she was talking. As soon as she said, oh, I just feel so frustrated. I'm just tired of this world. I just want to go. Immediately, I dropped what I was doing and gave her like my 100% attention.
Attention.
And
Yeah.
I thought to myself, so after that conversation, I mean, she said a few things. And at a point, I just felt like even my own energy was being taken off because I was feeling really sad for her. Like she was lonely and all. So after the conversation, I thought to myself that this is somebody who is at home and feels like the whole world is just collapsing around her. There is nothing for her to do. Yes, she's elderly, but at the end of the day, you don't even want to be in that state. Like back home,
Yeah.
when you have elderly parents, you have to make sure that there are people around them who's looking after them and
Around
all of that. You
them.
wouldn't leave them by
Yes.
themselves. But for us, even as a younger people, like, okay, we are working 24 hours. So I have an habit when I'm working. So I don't get distracted. So I can be offline for God knows how long before I come back online. And when I come back online, sometimes I feel like actually it's actually nice to see some things that is funny and all of that. So I've not really been paying attention to my own mental health. I've not been, because personally I don't feel like I have an issue. I have a mental health issue. Do you understand? But what I want you to tell us, because I really want to know this myself. And guys, please, the people who are watching, if you have questions, please send them in as well. And I'm sure maybe some people also want to know about this. How would I know if I have got a mental health issue? So let's say, no, let me take that back. Not mental health issue. How would I know if I need to seek counsel on my mental health? So let's put it that way. So what are the
Okay.
signs? Are there any symptoms that one would see, or the signs that we should be on the lookout for? Because I don't know myself. I just know that sometimes I can
Okay.
be so moody. And everyone in my house, they know that. So yes.
I think basically the point where you get to where you can't effectively function at work, or your relationships are constantly conflicted,
Yeah.
you can't function at work, at school, you are finding it
Yeah.
difficult to relate with other people,
Mm.
then you may want to seek help. Because, I mean, we all have challenges, we all have difficult times. Everybody has the
That's
times
right.
when they're stressed out and all
Mm.
that. Stress is it's part of everyday life. But once we
Mm.
have coping strategies for it, we're able to manage it, feel better,
Manage.
and keep moving. But the moment where you cannot function, like
Mm.
you are afraid to take a step, you're afraid to do something because whatever it is that is getting you worried or that is disturbing you is affecting you to that point where you can't function.
Mm.
And then anytime you're with people, it's like
Mm.
there's constant conflict, or you're hiding from people, you don't like being around people. In the
Mm.
moment, like I said, just once you can't function effectively,
Mm.
then you know that this might require me to, seek
To seek
professional help.
counsel. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
yes, yes.
Okay, I like that. That is something that, so whenever you feel like you've gotten to that point where you just don't have any will to do anything else, especially for people who are like up and going, like you're very active, you
Yeah.
don't sit on anything, you get things done. But as soon as you start to see that, okay, I feel like I just can't get anything done, I'm not interested in doing anything, I'm not functioning well as I would love to function or as I used to function, then you start to think of, okay, you might need to seek counsel. For me, Ebu says that it doesn't really happen to elderly, but to the young parents as well, especially parents with children with special needs. And you know what? That's so true, because that's another angle to it as well. All of this also depends on the pressure. So you have the work pressure, you have the home pressure, you have the, like, all the external. So I put them at internal and external pressures.
Yeah.
Internal are all the family related stuff. I know. External are the, like, okay, even like the friends outside the work and all of that. And it's so 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 difficult. So, like, what, that's the sign. I love that sign that you gave, because that's one thing I've written that down that I need to remember myself, just to check. So, is there anything wrong in trying to, or how do I make sure that I keep my mental health in check? How do I make sure that I am, because if you're not aware, I always say that you can't treat a disease or something if you're not aware of it. So, how do I keep my mental health in check so that I can easily identify these signs when I start to experience them, or if I ever experience them?
Okay. All right then. So to help keep your mental health in check, things that you could do, they are in this book, but I'll just share a
Oh.
few.
I
Just
like
kidding.
that. Yes, we have to get
Yeah.
the book anyway. We have to get the book because I've gotten the
Yes.
book. So just waiting for it to be delivered.
So
Yes.
one thing you could try and ensure that you do
Mm.
is make sure that you get adequate sleep.
Thank you, Lord. Okay, thank you. Keep going.
Adequate sleep is very, very important.
Mm.
It helps to rest your mind. And we have some people who are sleeping, but their mind is working. So the
Mm.
battery is still running. So at the end of the day, it's not rested. So it's not just enough for you to close your eyes. You see some people are sleeping, and this is how very tight their eyes are closed, because even their mind is still working.
Yeah.
But you need to be ensured that you're well relaxed,
Mm.
well rested, and sleep. I know there's a lot of hustle and bustle. A lot of people want to make it, particularly here in Nigeria, in Lagos. Well,
Mm.
given now that we had lockdown and then people are easing things out, before you had people who
Mm.
had the early morning commute from
Yeah.
mainland to island,
So Ireland.
and have to wake up by 4 a.m. So, and they get home 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and so they don't get enough
Mm.
sleep. But if you can, please get enough sleep. It's very, very important. It just helps. It's like energizing. It really
Yeah.
helps a lot. So if you can, please sleep. Take time to just rest. Now,
Mm.
not, there's a difference between sleeping and resting. So if you
Mm.
just be sitting down and not doing any activity, or maybe you just want to watch TV, or you
Okay.
just want to lie down and not just pick up a book or pick up your phone or anything, just be there and allow yourself be in the moment.
Mm.
So
Mm.
relaxation is very, very important. Even with mothers try and have some me time. I know that having to look after children, particularly if you're homeschooling and you're working at the
Homeschooling,
same time,
yeah,
in these
yeah.
times that we're in, it can be very, very hectic. If
Mm,
you have to lock yourself up in your room for 30 minutes or something and just breathe, let
mm,
the children, they won't kill themselves in those 30 minutes that you're, taking that break.
yeah.
Ensure that you have your me time, take your time off.
Mm,
Then exercise is another thing that we need to ensure that we do,
mm, mm,
because engaging in physical activity, what
mm.
it does is it produces what we call feel good hormones,
Yeah.
particularly dopamine and endorphins.
Mm,
So when you engage in physical exercise, your brain produces endorphins and it gives your entire body this feel good kind of feeling.
feeling,
So
yeah.
yeah, even when you find that your mood is, going down, engaging in, take a run, I mean, go for a run, take a walk, just do
Mm,
something physical. You find out that it helps to elate your mood at the end of the day. So we
mm,
want to ensure that, exercise
mm.
is very important. Nothing serious, but just make sure that you are physically active.
Active,
Another
yeah.
thing you want to do is, thank God for Instagram. There are a lot of comedians on Instagram these days. Humor is huge.
Wow.
It's very,
Yeah.
very huge when it
Mm,
comes to maintaining your mental
mm,
health. There are just
mm.
some days I just go on Instagram and I'm, on Tauma's page, or is it Josh Too Funny,
Oh,
Lasisi, all those
yes. I know
guys
that
are
guy.
there,
Yes.
and you just go on and you're just laughing, and in the moment you forget all that's going on around you in the
Mm,
world, or your current worries, your current situation,
mm.
you go ahead and laugh.
And
Laughter
laugh.
is medicine. It's medicine to the soul. So
Hmm.
it's very, very good. You want to try and intentionally
Yeah.
inculcate humor into your, so go actively looking for it.
Mm,
Another thing is you want to be intentional about being positive.
mm.
So surround
Yeah. I
yourself
love
with
that.
people who constantly emit positive energy. You don't want to be around Debbie Downers that are, Nigeria is, there's no hope. Nigeria is doomed, is
Mm,
dead. We are fine.
mm.
We know that things are not how they should be. But
Yeah.
anybody who goes from morning till night and they're just condemning Nigeria, you don't need such people around you. Yes, I know things
Around
are not
you.
working, but I don't need someone who continues to, reiterate this and emphasizes on it. So you need
Mm,
people who are constantly
mm.
speaking positive things around you, and even you as an individual. That's why we talk about positive affirmations.
Yeah.
Where you want to get to, write those things down and begin to call those things daily. Look at
Wow.
yourself in the mirror and say those things about yourself.
About
I
yourself.
mean, outline the strengths that you have, the
Mm,
attributes, the qualities, the personalities. Just outline those things and say those things themselves, and remind yourself where you are headed to. I may not be
mm.
there now, but I know that I'm on my way. I'm
I'll
on a
get there.
journey and I'm going to get there. So you want to actively read out those posts. And if you can, just have a mantra for a day. I mean, for each day. So you say,
Mm.
today I am great. And that's what you keep saying all through the day. Pick intervals and just keep saying this. So
Wow.
everything just requires us being intentional.
Mm,
So being
mm,
intentional, being in the moment, you have what we call mindfulness as well. So
mm.
mindfulness basically is you ensuring that you're fully focused in what you're doing. And the thing about mindfulness is, one of the things I think I talked about in the book, is that it can be applied into all aspects of our lives. Say for
Mm.
instance, you are eating. A lot of us just sit down, we take and we're done. But you can actually sit down, choose to sit, especially if you know that you're not rushing anyway, and
Take your time.
take time to actually chew. Some of us don't
Mm.
even know whether we chew or we swallow a bar, or we
I
chew
think
or we
I
swallow
swallow. I
rice.
think I swallow rice. I don't think I chew rice. God will deliver me.
Because I know someone who swallows rice and chews eba, and I'm like, how does that work? But that's
Yeah.
how it works for that person. So sometimes you just want to sit down and try and savor whatever it is that you're eating, even if it's
Mm.
when you're taking a bath, as you are scrubbing your body, as the water is running down the shower. Just be mindful. Yeah, your mind will be running thoughts, but just try and bring your
Just
mind back to
focus.
where you are,
Mm.
even if as you're walking. A lot of times I've gone past a particular place and I'm going past that place today. I'm like, so this building has been here. Because I've
I
just been
know.
going
Yes.
mindlessly.
Yes.
But when you
Yes.
take your time and you're looking, you begin to appreciate the beautiful things around you. And that just helps to help, and it helps to train the mind to focus as
To
well.
focus as well. Do you know,
Yes.
I
So
really
even
like that.
yeah.
I really like that because we're in the world where everything is a go, 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 that kind of a thing. You know, you might be going through the same route every day, and that place, there's so many changes around there that you don't even see. You know, until maybe someone calls your attention to it and says, "Oh, did you see that?" You'd be like, "What? How long has this been here?" And I have a friend like that actually that can literally walk into this room and
Yeah.
miss this light. So, and she's on this conversation. So please and please take the time. Yes, the time is necessary. Let's be mindful. God will help us all because even I am guilty of it sometimes. It's just a crazy world. You're rushing, you're trying to get things moving and all. You know the point, all these tips that you've given us. I don't know if anyone got everything single one of it. Please put it in the chat box. Let other people see it as well. Philip, can you not distract me and be talking about swallow rice and chewing eba? Well, I don't chew my eba, I just swallow rice. That's what I do. So you've said that we should get adequate sleep. So sleep is so that one I am very guilty of that because even as at today I am still like my eyes are heavy because I have not slept well. Sleep, relax, exercise. I mean, I work out every day, so that one I can just tick the box, and I know the benefits of it. I mean, I never worked out before in my life, never until I think it was last year, April or May, when a group of us came together and said, "Let's do this every morning for 30 minutes," and we did it for 3 months straight, and it was fantastic. So since then, I didn't stop. So I would work out 5 days a week. I mean, every now and then I miss it, like maybe just do 3 days, or but at least I did something. And I
Yeah.
know how I feel. Even mentally, I am very strong. I feel very strong mentally. So I work that is mentally draining. So if I don't have that kind of like exercise, I've done it and I'm very ready, I've got the energy to go on. By 4 p.m., I'll be like spent, well spent, and I just want to sleep or something. But I found
Yeah.
myself being able to go as far as like 9 p.m., just push myself as far as I can do so. So you said to exercise, then you said we should get humor into our lives. Medicine, laughter, humor, it is medicine to the soul. And
Yeah.
yeah, there are some great pages on Instagram that people can follow and you watch. I followed Brother Shaggy for whatever reason. I love that guy. So I just watch his skits and all, and just too funny as well. It's like you just like last week, this week, I was offline completely. In fact, I had still have messages on WhatsApp that I've not read in the last 1 week. Right. So I was completely off because I was very busy at work. But last night, as I was trying to catch up on a few things, I found myself laughing a lot because I was on Just Too Funny page and Brother Shaggy, and I was watching everything they put there, and it was so nice to have that time. Although again, I was thinking, oh gosh, I've been on this for 30 minutes. I need to get off now and all of that stuff. But that's really good. So that's the humor. And then you said that we should be intentional about being positive.
Yeah.
That intentionality has to be there. We have to be, it's like you just, for me, if you say anything to me, people who are very close to me, they know that I am the queen of positivity. That one
Yeah.
thing. Before I say something negative, I would have said like five positive things first. So if you come to me with, oh, this thing is, I'll say no, it's not. In fact, I'll say no, it's not going to happen. No, it will be this. Because I know the power of staying positive even when things around you don't feel like that. I understand it. So thank you for that. And then you said, lastly, mindfulness. So, guys, honestly, we can't be too busy for our own mental health. And everything you've said tonight, I don't think I was actually expecting maybe some very technical, very strong,
It's the
some.
usual
They're actually
thing.
like
It's
the
the
usual
usual thing.
things, like the very
Things that we've
simple
probably
things,
heard before.
but and
Yeah.
it's
But
like we just don't know how powerful they are. We don't know how powerful they are. Honestly, thank you so much, Bimi. Guys, please thank Bemi for me tonight because all that she's given us, even I personally have learned a lot. I've written down a lot here that I'm going to try to work on myself. Bemi has to go because she has another event that is starting in about 1 minute. I was meant to let her go 5 minutes before. But Bemi, thank you so very much for joining us tonight. God bless you.
It's been
You're
a
definitely coming
pleasure.
back. You're coming back on the show because there will be so many other things that we need to discuss about
No
this mental health.
problem.
You know, we really need to stay in and make sure that we keep ourselves. So thank you so very much. Feel free to drop
It's been
off,
a
and
pleasure.
I will speak to you soon. Thanks a lot,
All right then. Thank
baby.
you,
God bless
everyone.
you. So
Bye.
yes, see you soon, guys. Honestly, you know what? You know, as we do it here, it is very easy for us to get too busy. You know, we are too busy, and I am very guilty of it. You all know that I am guilty of it. I am too busy for my own liking. But you know what? The main thing is that they say that you cannot deal with what you have not identified or what you're not aware of. So you need to be aware of it. You know, self-awareness is key. Being aware of what things it is, or what everything around you is very important. So if you feel like you're just tired unnecessary, so I was talking about that. I work out now daily. Before I started working out, trust me, I couldn't go 2 days without having headache. Like, I would literally have headache. So in my bag, I would always have paracetamol or Panadol or ibuprofen in my bag, because anytime I just feel like I'm tired, I just just pop the pills, and I'll take it. But you know, since I started working out, I cannot remember the last time I took paracetamol. And that is the honest truth. I feel like I am a lot more healthier. You know, I'm not a big person. You know, I'm very slim naturally. And people will say, "Oh, Bibi, what are you doing? You're very slim." But I don't even think working out is just for you losing weight. It's actually to keep your body, your mind, your soul fit as well. And as Bimi said tonight, I mean, if a therapist can say to us that, you know, working out as well is part of how we can take care of our mental health, I don't think it should be too difficult. I started off with like 15 minutes every day, like just do 15 minutes. If I'm too tired, I just stop. I do not kill anybody. I cannot come and die, right? But after some time, I started to gain some sort of stamina and all. So now I can go 30, 40 minutes and I'll not be out of breath, which is very good. It feels really great. So I hope you have been able to get something really good from tonight's conversation. Usually, you know, that would have gone like almost 2 hours, you know. But this one is very important that we don't stretch ourselves too much. We've taken the information now. The best thing is that what we're going to do with it. So please, everyone, it is still January, end of January now. February is just around the corner. The year is going really fast, you know. Don't put yourself under any unnecessary pressure. Life is beautiful. It is what we make it to be. You know, problems will never end. I mean, I've seen so many memes on social media now. Like, they'll say that, is it Wala no they finish or something like that. Like, they say it's like that. I think so. You know, problems will never end. Things will keep happening in life, but what we need to do as a people is to keep going. Just remain positive. She spoke about gratitude, you know, being grateful. What are you grateful for? You know, when anything goes wrong, as opposed to saying, "Oh my God, this thing has happened," or something, just say, "You know what, I'm grateful." You know, even if you're not a person of faith or anything, you can still find something. The fact that you're even breathing is enough for you to be grateful for. So thank you all so much. Thank you so much for joining myself and Bemi tonight. I'm definitely going to bring Bemi back again. She's a therapist. I mean, if we're going to consult her, I don't know how much she charges for an hour consultation or something like that. But she's come here freely tonight to bless us. So she'll be coming back soon again on Conversations with BibbyJ. And also, I have to say that yes, life is very beautiful, very beautiful. I don't think that someone says, "Oh, you want to die, you're rushing to go to heaven." Do you even know what heaven looks like? Like, anyway, that's another topic for another day, right? So yes, so thank you all so much. Let's look after ourselves, you know. Take enough rest. Balance, take enough rest as well. Yes, sleep well, work out, you know, find some comedy to watch, you know. Speak to people who lift your spirit. And that's one other thing, you know. Stay away from people who just sap energy from you, you know. People who every time you see them or they say something, it makes you feel one kind. Move away from them. I mean, I am very, I'm very, I'm one person I'm very friendly. I'm a happy person. I go about my business and all, but I'm very quick to seriously just move away from people that I feel like I don't want to be worrying about you, you know. It is very important. You need to understand that you want to be around people who are positive, people who will keep you going. So if things are, I mean, I have a friend that we bounce off at ourselves. You know, sometimes I'm having a very bad day, and if I call her, we just talk about it and everything, and then I'm okay again. And then she does the same thing as well. That's all you need. You know, you don't need to be around people who tells you what you're doing that is not right or how difficult life is. Yes, thank you. Life is difficult. We know that already. No one told us that it was going to be easy in the first place, right? So let's not make that our focus. It is difficult. Yes, we accept it, but we will do what we will continue living, because regardless, you can't do anything about it. So I'm a risk manager. I would not tell you to worry about something that you have absolute no control over. Work on something that you have control over and you will be fine. So if it's a book club that gets you going, please join a book club, whatever it is. So now this is making public announcements, because I know that most of the people in this conversation tonight are my friends. Public announcements. If you send me a message and I don't respond on time, please don't be upset. Just take it as, oh, Bibi is having a me time. Yes, because we have been taught tonight to have our me time. And I will sure be having my me time because it is necessary. So, guys, thank you so much. I hope you have been blessed by this tonight. If you have any questions, or if there is anything that you want us to come and discuss on Conversations with BibbyJ, please drop me a message, and we can just talk over it. Okay. I will be having my next conversation very, very soon. And it's still in the spirit of New Year, you know, just getting people to, like, everybody, don't put yourself under pressure. Life is beautiful. Let's just enjoy it. Yes. Yes. Or the quite risky. Exactly, Laulu. Very risky, you know. So yeah, so we just keep it going like that. So my next conversation is going to be in 2 weeks time. I might come live. I don't know. I'm not promising anything because I don't know. It's life is just very, very, very interesting right now. But yes, but thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you for the love, for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you for showing up every single time. I do not take your time for granted at all. And so God bless you. I said it, even though I'm saying thank you, and it's that time now that we start to kind of drop off one by one. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Yes, yes. Yes, toasting. Positive vibes only. Definitely. That is what you want to have. You want to surround yourself with positive people. You know, anything that, oh yes, yes, favor prevail. I know, right? We don't usually finish early like this. Yes, we finished early tonight. I'm happy because she said we should rest too. I want to go and rest too. I should go and rest too. Thanks for me. Thanks, son. Thanks, Piotr. Gifty, thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Honestly, I feel like Instagram should make this platform in a way that you can have like 4 or 5 people on the call at the same time. So I can just bring you all ladies in like that easily, you know, that we can all just talk. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Guys, honestly, look after yourself. See, the issues of tomorrow will continue to be there. The issues of today will be there. And the future, you don't even know the future. Do you understand? So why worry? Yes, why worry? Thank you, Busola. Amen. God bless you too. Thank you so much. You don't want to worry. These issues are always going to be there. But let us not wait and wait and wait and let them just pull us down. Instead, keep going. Keep going. Do what you can do. Once you've done your best, you can leave the rest to God. You know, and if you're not a person of faith, if you don't have faith in God or anything, you know that you can only do what you can do. So don't stress too much. But can I just ask that you all please be praying? I need a break. I need a holiday. They should open the airspace so that we can get away. That is something that I know will help my mental health. It will help it. So yes. And yes, so thank you all so much, very much. I am signing off now. God bless you. Have a great weekend. I'll speak to you soon. Love you all. Thank you. Bye. See, I'm not counting down tonight because some people are very, very determined to just stay on, and they will not let me go off like that. Okay, so it says rest too. I took a week off to gather myself together. Exactly. Do you know? It is important, honestly. It is important. We need to rest. We really, really, really need to rest. So, yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Love you all. Okay. Yes, this is the time that start dropping off now. Don't let me cut the something. Yes, thanks, babe. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone. I'm looking at the numbers. I want the numbers to go down. Or shall we count down like we normally do? Thank you, Laulu. I was expecting that. I was expecting that. So, Laulu, we're doing 4.5. Okay, yes, we can keep doing the 4.5 and 4 and 3.5 and 3. Oh no, Laulu, nah, no, please don't do this. Don't do this for 4.2. What's happening? See? Nah, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Okay, actually, do you know what, guys? Before you go, can you tell me, do you love my background? Do you think I should keep this or I should go back to the one I used to use before? I just wanted something different for today. So yeah, people are counting down. Keep counting down, keep counting down. All right, cool. All right, thank you all so much. Thank you. I'm gonna end it now. So God bless you. And I go off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bye.